What's up, folks? Gabe Montgomery here, 10 Horse Mining YouTube channel, and we are at Super Lake. Got a few hours to fish. Thought I'd come over here and check it out. I haven't been over here for quite a while. The wind is blowing and we got some storms moving in. You know, the dark sky, that's my weather app. They're predicting light rain here in about 13 minutes. You know, they're pretty accurate, 13 minutes. But I'm gonna go out here. This lake is pretty clear right now. I'm sitting here looking at it. I'll give you a water temp and a visibility as soon as I get out on the water. But I'm gonna try to catch maybe some offshore. And the carp are definitely spawning. I can see them working over there. They're going nuts. You know, they do that. They get up in the shallows and they start walling around. I think the male carp tries to knock the eggs out of the female carp or something. I don't know. It's some kind of ritual they do, but it gets pretty rowdy. So yeah, we're gonna put the boat in the water, fish for a couple hours, see what happens. I'm gonna try to fish out a little deeper, maybe with a Carolina rig, a jig, maybe a 10-inch worm. See if I can catch some of these post-spawn fish that have moved out off the bank, because I think the spawn is almost done around here. There'll be another wave that comes in the middle of May when the full moon hits, or actually the end of May, I guess, is when the next full moon is. But I think a lot of it is already done. So let's dump this boat in the water and see what happens. There we go, folks. It's a nice fish. Just throwing this it's a Cumberland Pro Magnum shaky head with the 7/0 hook, and I got a 10-inch zoom Old Monsters and Plum. Nice quality fish. Just working this island here, and the grass grows out to about 15 to 16 foot, and I was kind of trying to stay off the outside of that grass line, and this fish hit right at the boat. Kind of surprised me. Just a thump, and I swung on her, and she got rowdy right there by the trolling motor. So good fish. Cool lake. Pyramid State Park. Super Lake, strip pits, you know, nice fish. All right, looks like the water is it seems like it's about 5 foot, maybe 6 foot visibility. It's hard to tell because of the overcast conditions, but it's pretty clear. I mean, it's definitely clear, and we got 65.7 degree water temps. Look at that rocky bottom. This is a crazy place. Got a lot of it's kind of clay bottom, but if you can find a little bit of rock, just little stretches of little rock veins and stuff, leftover debris from the mining. You know, these are strip pit lakes. You know, they just dredge them out, and so you get a lot of like ups and downs, a lot of whoop-de-doos and stuff. But some of that sediment that's hard, some of the rock that's left over, there are key spots to find. You know, you kind of got to graph around and find those little areas, because it's definitely not everywhere. A lot of it is the same. It's just like a clayish mud bottom or whatever. You got grass growing out here to about 15, maybe 20 feet in some spots due to the water visibility, and it's gummy. It's hard to snap it out of there right now. But I'm just kind of trying to stay out off the grass and just kind of work these edges and find little rock patches and stuff. And that's really what's going on. Let's let this guy go. It's a nice fish. It's all spotted up. These fish are really cool looking. It's a beautiful fat fish, really healthy. She on. Oh man, missed it. There he is. Got your little booty. There we go. Not a big one, but it's good that they're eating that big shaky head. It's kind of fun. Storms are starting to move in. You can see rain off in the distance. Don't know how much longer I got, but regardless, caught a few fish, having fun. guy. Little peewee. Good little topwater bite going on now. This rain. About out of time. Just hoping to catch one big one. Catch me a really big one to make this trip worthwhile. The fish wasn't coming off or nothing. Dang it. Oh, that was a good fish. Sucker came off. I'll show you one thing I've noticed today. First thing is, got to be near deep water to get bit. And see this little bit of sparse grass right here? A little bit of this floating grass. The fish are sitting underneath this stuff, and if you bring that topwater by it, they're shooting out and grabbing it. Almost every fish that I've caught here on Super Lake has been relating to that grass somehow, and not the straight lines of grass, just like the little broken up pieces of grass. If you can find a stretch that's got just kind of some open spaces and then a little bit of that floating grass, and you got deep water nearby, there's a pretty good chance that you're gonna get bit. Get in here, Buster. There we go. Man, that's fun. That's a good bite. So that fish is post spawn, definitely. They're just must be up on beds down through here. I can't really see because the overcast conditions. But you definitely want to be around some deep water. I fished a lot of flat stuff and didn't get bit. And as soon as I got on this little stretch, it's got some deeper water off of it. You know, started getting some bites. So, good fish. Yeah, he's decent. Skinny. There he is. Little guy. The old topwater post spawn pattern. Man, you can't beat a topwater bite. Good old Super Lake. Super good time. Man, that's fun. The old post spawn. They're actually feeding back up. They're pretty good. That is fun. Good times. Good times. Man, I love that early topwater bite. That's killer. There we go. Super Lake. Super Lake is a really cool lake. It's the biggest lake in Pyramid State Park. I believe it's like 250 acres. You know, there's several lakes over there that have concrete boat ramps. They have concrete restroom, parking lot, just decent facilities. And we're in the post spawn. So I was thinking when I got there that I would be able to get out off the bank a little bit and fish some kind of outside grass lines in some rocky areas and catch some of these post spawn fish out there a little bit deeper. And we had ideal conditions for a moving bait, but I still wanted to see if I could catch some of those fish. And I did. I managed to catch a few fish, got some bites, and I was throwing the Magnum Shaky Head by Cumberland Pro Lures. This is a pretty cool head design, guys. It just came to the market last fall, and it's just it's a big shaky head. I was actually throwing a 3/8 ounce, and this has got a 7/0 hook, just a 7/0 round bend hook, and it's got this keeper right here, the screw lock. But the screw lock is not fixed to the head. It's a free swinging screw lock. I've got some grass in there, so it's not swinging quite as much. Let me tear that out. Yeah, there you go. See, it's free swinging. So when a fish bites that worm, this collapses. So, you know, a problem you'll have with some shaky heads is when this is fixed, your gap is now from here to here. But if that breaks away, it increases your gap. So 7/0 round bend hook. And I was just throwing a Zoom All Monster in a plum color, which is probably, arguably, one of the best worms to throw on a shaky head or Texas rig or however you want to do it. But plum is my favorite color. I like several. I like plum apple and green pumpkin, of course, but plum seems to get it done day in and day out, just about any water conditions. But it's just a screw lock. You just screw it up on there. You know, just a big shaky head is all it was. And I'm throwing that on 15-pound test. See, that's nice. That hook fits it just perfect. Throwing it on 15-pound test and just had a 7-foot medium heavy rod. So I caught a few fish doing that, but I wasn't getting the feedback, and the wind kind of started to pick up. And I just kept thinking, I need to put topwater in my hand. And I had a good day on Goldeneye with this bait right here, the old Chug bug. You know, shout out once again to Dave Holm for kind of reminding me of how deadly this bait is. But if you didn't watch the Goldeneye video, go back and check that out. I had a pretty epic day on this. It was a great topwater day. But this is the Storm Chug bug in the baby bass color. You know, it's got the little flashy boutel on there. 40-pound braid, 7-foot medium heavy rod, 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. And the whole key with this bait was just walking it slow, just popping it. And I think what was going on is there were a lot of post spawn fish maybe cruising, or some spawners that had just moved up. And basically it's springtime, there were just a lot of fish, you know, in the shallow water. And something about this, a popping bait, if it's a pop R, whatever it is, but something about that chugging type style topwater gets a lot of bites around this time of the year, the post spawn and the spawn. Something about it, it's slow, you can let it sit there and you can just twitch it, or you can walk it. This thing actually walks pretty good too. So you've got that option where something like a spook or a vixen or whatever, you get that straight walking action. This is kind of a combo. You can do a lot of things with it. It's pretty loud. It just annoys the fish, and you'll know pretty quick if it's gonna happen. So that's what was going. I kind of kept this in my hand, and you know, one thing I noticed, and I'll talk about it here in a little bit, is how they were relating to the little clumps of grass. I had several bites just off these little patches of grass, and I started noticing that if I just went down a straight stretch of grass that didn't have any breaks in it or anything, I wasn't getting bit. But if I came into an area where there was like a little bit of grass and then there was an opening and a little bit of grass and an opening, I could almost call my shots on if I was going to get a bite right there. I didn't always catch them. You know, I jumped a few off, but that's topwater fishing. That's treble hook bait fishing. You know, you're going to lose some fish, but I knew I was in a good area, a high percentage area, and most of the time I did get one to swipe at it or suck it down, and some of them I got the hook and got them in the boat. And I also noticed that deep water was key. They wanted to be near deep water. I fished a lot of stretches that were real flat, and I didn't get any bites. And once I started figuring out that they wanted some deeper water real close by, you know, instead of basically the deep water coming up and having like 30 feet of flat water, say it rolls up to like 6 to 0, 30 foot, they wanted something that rode up from 6 to 0 in like 15 foot. So kind of a little short flat and then a drop off. Those were the kind of the key things that, you know, that was the two of the things that I was looking for, were those little clumps of grass and then the deeper water right next to a short flat. That's a good one on here, guys. Look at that. Boom shakalaka booma. Dang, that's a nice fish. Look how broad that fish is. Beautiful fish. She missed it once and then came back and got it again. Caught a few fish offshore, but this rain moved in, and you know, I just decided to pull up here shallow and see if there was any fish cruising the bank, and obviously there was. That is a beautiful fish, man. Hey, appreciate you guys coming along on this little Super Lake adventure here at Pyramid State Park. I'm out of time, caught a few fish, had a good time, spent a few hours out here. It's a really cool lake. There's a lot of cool lakes in this area. So give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Until next time. Good way to end the day. Beautiful fish. Man, that's a nice fish. Let's let her go. Beautiful, solid fish. Looks like she still got some eggs in her. See ya.